just another moment here, and continuing our conversation from last hour with Bloomberg's Kriti Gupta. Fascinating conversation about jobs because there's so much we don't know, and there's so much that we cannot seem to forecast. Is next month going to be another wild card here? This is just the world we're in?
It kind of seems like it. This was a huge surprise today. 637,000. The estimate was already extremely bullish, over 400,000. So to beat that is significant. To me, what's even more significant is the fact that the market didn't really react at all, because it kind of feels like this labor market recovery is something that investors have now taken for granted. We know the U.S. economy is thriving. We know that the U.S. economy is doing well. And it kind of seems like, barring anything kind of huge, like perhaps another lockdown, for example, that progress isn't really going to be deterred by anything. It kind of seems like that's the mentality that investors are taking right now when it comes to the jobs market.
The president mentioned last night, or the 2 nights ago, the State of the Union. Well, actually, we're going to hear from him right now. Here, let's listen live at the White House. Here's President Biden on Bloomberg. Joined on stage, hail to the chief, by a couple of CEOs who are going to be speaking with him about this Made in America program. And while the introductory remarks are going on, we'll continue our conversation with Kriti. We may as well just do a whole show together. What a great pleasure for me. What does he need to say to the markets today? Obviously, we heard from Labor Secretary Marty Walsh. It's his job to go out there and talk about how great this is and how the president's policies are working.
Right.
But there are concerns about wages. There are concerns about available workers, participation. There are 6 million jobs open still. How does this president speak to Americans and employers about what needs to be done?
Well, it has to really come down to purchasing power, right? There's no really country like the United States when it comes to purchasing power and when it comes to the American consumer right now. And so that seems to be, at least from a market perspective, what we need to hear from Joe Biden, the idea that those costs, those surging costs, that kind of concern about demand destruction, whether it comes